Hey Austin, so last but not least is your resume. So I've just changed this to, again, Helvetica Neue because that's what I use all the time. You can change it to whatever is easy to read. And the problem with this one is you actually had really good information on here, but the problem is that you didn't create your own styles. So I'm going to do that with you, but I'm also going to talk about how to clean up your resume so that hopefully if you ever need to use it in the future, it's ready to go. So the one thing I would recommend is you have everything in one text box, and that's going to be really hard for you to work with. So what I would actually do is I'm going to hold Option or Alt and drag, and I'm going to put everything in its own like content, okay? So there's your name, and there's the text box. So and I am just going to put this as basic paragraph. So this is what a basic paragraph looks like in InDesign, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So Option, this is going to take a while, so be doing this with me, or I recommend that you be doing this with me. So then all like items stay together. So for instance, this is your contact information, so I'm going to keep both of those lines in one box together, and I'm going to make sure it's a basic paragraph and come up here. And why is it so squished like that? I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to right click, see how it's plus. I'm going to apply basic paragraph and clear overrides. So then that gets rid of that line spacing. So that one should be fine. So then profile is the next thing. So you can choose to keep everything else in profile if you want to. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to resize and apply the basic paragraphs with clear overrides. There we go. So again, just copy and paste. So I'm going to put all the education, leave all the education in this one box. And again, apply basic. And I'm just right clicking there in case that's not as obvious. Okay. Here we go. And okay, so then these are all the employment. So yeah, we might just keep this all together. I don't like to keep big things like that together, but we're just going to leave it for right now. We're going to get rid of extra spaces, and I think for this, let's resize it. All right, so I would recommend that you keep the last three unless some of them have different like skill sets that you need to bring up. But if this job is very similar to this job, because this job was so long ago, and you were saying that you had a lot of jobs, I would actually get rid of it. But that's totally up to you. For now, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to get rid of these three down here. Okay, so the only thing is I would definitely separate the computer skills. And don't forget, with computer skills, you can put that you have some training in InDesign, Adobe InDesign. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Okay, so now we can get rid of this. And this is your basic resume without any styling. But we want styling because what is the point of doing it in InDesign if we could have just done it in Microsoft Word and kept it basic. So all right, so what we're going to do is you have to have the word resume at the top. I actually don't like the resume to be huge, so I'm going to put all capitals, resume of, and I want to create a style for this. So let's say I actually want everything. Let's first get rid of all this stuff right here. All this stuff, I don't even know how it happened. So I'm going to replace it with a basic paragraph and then click OK. And I want to get rid of all of these. These must have been things that you brought in. Maybe you had a resume template or something like that, but it is not stuff that you created on your own. So same thing with character styles. We're going to get rid of everything in character styles. Tabulating numbers because those came with that template. All right, so we have nothing and we're going to do apply basic clear overrides. So I'm going to highlight everything and make sure there's no plus because the plus indicates there's extra styling there. Okay, so this resume of, let's pretend you wanted this to be a font like, well, good Lord. Let's say resume of, let's do Monterchi Sans. This is what I have. I have a lot of fonts in here and it's to the point where I can't even decide what I want. I don't want to do that one. So, well, again, oh, I love Gold Play. Okay, I'm going to do Gold Play because it has all these different options. So I'm going to do Gold Play Medium. And let's say I want it to be 12. And let's say you do want to add some color in here. And, well, there's a lot of color in here. What's happening? Let's say I want it, oh God, they're ugly. Why would all those be in there? Okay. Well, I'm just going to add a new CMYK. So some cyan. So I kind of like that darker blue for that. So there's that. And now it's like, I'm going to call this dark blue. And it's Gold Play Alt, and maybe, actually I do want it to be like 16 because it takes up a little bit more space. So then what you want to do is you want to create a style for this. So when I hit plus, whatever you have selected, it creates a style for. So this is what I want to call the head style. Because this is the header. And so then this is your name style. So let's say I do want to use Gold Play, which is what I just used, but maybe because I want your name to stand out, I want to make Gold Play bold. And maybe this one, I want it to be 36 so that your name stands out. So there's that blue, and maybe I want a little bit of gray, so I'm going to do black. Oops, not filled with black. Font black, but I want it to be 78. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I like it right there. So again, I'm going to create a new style for this, and I'm going to call it the name style. So if I hit W, your resume is coming out pretty good. And over here, instead of a hyphen, we'll just do Option or Alt 8. Or I don't know how it is on a PC, but I just put a period to separate things. So let's say for the basic paragraph, I want it to be Gold Play. Again, to keep it consistent, but this time I just want regular. And so then it's going to say the basic paragraph, but see the plus because there's been some overrides. I actually want all the text on the page to be the basic paragraph of Gold Play. So if I do redefine style, you're going to see that all the other text in your document now is Gold Play. Okay. So then what we want to do is we want to create a subhead text, and you have a lot of subheadings. So you have profile, education, employment, and computer skills. So these ones I do want to be bigger and a little bit bolder. So I'm going to do semi-bold and maybe 18. And this one, maybe I do want it to be the dark blue, so we can see the dark blue a little bit more. Now this, I want to create a style called subhead style. And you don't have to call them that, but it's easier for me to grade when you do that. Now it didn't apply to these because these didn't have the subhead style applied. But now if I highlight them and click subhead style, they add that styling in. The cool part with this is now if I, let's say I did want the red like how you already had red in there, then I'm going to come in here and say this should be red. Well, now employment is, but the rest aren't. But because I changed that and now it has a plus, I can do right click and choose redefine style. And it's going to redefine all of those so that they are all red. So imagine if you had a lot of subheadings, that's going to save you a lot of time. Oops, I don't know why it does that. Okay. So the text paragraph style is actually what I just did for the basic paragraph. So I'm going to come in here and just do text paragraph style. And then if I come in here and say all of this should be text paragraph style, it doesn't change anything because it's the same as the basic paragraph. So I shouldn't have done the basic paragraph because I forgot. But there you go. So again, later on, if you're like gold play doesn't work for me, then I can come over here and say I want Times New Roman regular for this. And if I right click on here and say redefine style, now all of that changes to Times New Roman. Okay. So other than that, the couple things I would do for your actual resume, and I really like what you have in the good information here, is I would try to do some typesetting. It fills some space, but it also helps people see things. So for instance, this one, the most important thing in this job, like for us to understand it at first, is that you are an ash fly operator. So I would do ash fly operator, and then everything else would be like on the second line. So I'm going to get rid of this. And then I would do like some typesetting like 825 to current, and I'm going to do this little divider line. And I'm going to make this one bold. So this is where I'd probably do a style that says job name. And maybe EM resources, I want it to be italic so that they always know like the italic is the name of the company. And then you originally had bullets and then I got rid of them, and I liked the idea of bullets. So then with the bullets, I don't really like how they align that way. So I'm going to click here. I'm actually going to do preview. And I like when the bullets are a little closer to the text and the text is a little bit further in. So there we go. So now with that one, how that did it, I'm just going to do bullets. And now when I come in here, I'm going to do bullets and bullets, and then stretch this out and choose bullets. Okay. So see how that's easier to skim this now, because if you were to have technician here and crew chief here, that says kind of what you're already doing here, and then here are some of your skills. So you can do that with here as well. Like maybe you put your degree in bold and maybe the name in italics. The other things that you can do is you can start with the degree you're earning, or like this might be your high school diploma, and say that, and then underneath it, kind of like how you're doing here, this is the time range, here's the school, and here's the city it was in. I don't think you really need to know the city for the education place. So anyway, that's going to help me when I come in and grade, because I'm looking for these things right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and say subhead style, and I'm going to make a change like that, and I'm going to right click and choose redefine style, and I should be able to see all of those change at once. So that tells me that you were able to create your own styles correctly. So hopefully this helps with that, and it helps you to create a resume that might be ready to go anytime you need it.